During a lot of my life coaching sessions and chats with people online, mostly, I come to a space where I realize whether or not the person is going to be ready to work on these habit changes and goal success kind of lessons and sessions that I work through with people. And the number one telltale sign if someone is ready to work with a life coach is whether or not they can understand that they were in a narcissistic relationship or similar personality disorder, but that it is less about that person and more about them now. They need to focus on them. Congratulations, you're no longer in that relationship. Believe it or not, you're actually more safe now because you are aware of that personality type, which means you probably built unhealthy boundaries right now, but we can work together to make those boundaries a bit more healthy and stable so that you are, one, forgiving yourself, because I think that's the most important part I forgot to do, was to forgive myself for allowing someone into my life and allowing myself to not have those boundaries, right? And let someone in that ultimately harms my children and me, right? So forgiving myself is the hardest part, I believe, or was the hardest part of the beginning journey. So I was very upset. I was very scared at first. I was very angry, all these feelings, right? But I never felt compelled to share my story online because I just didn't, because I knew that this person, he would have justice through God or some other form. It wasn't about the court systems. It wasn't about the restraining order I had on him. I knew that he had a path to walk, and I don't know why I'm wired this way and built this way, but I'm so grateful to God that I am, because I could, after going into binge drinking, it wasn't pretty in the first year, believe me, my friends, believe me. You know, I didn't have my kids because I had to have them live with their dad because I didn't have a home. I was staying in my dad's house, actually, in a spare room there. I was going off and drinking a lot. I mean, it was ugly, ugly, ugly healing in that first year. Actually, it was the opposite of healing, okay? But then I woke up and I realized I miss my kids. I need my kids back. I got to get my head on straight. This isn't me. I'm better than this. I'm not allowing this person, this situation, to destroy me, right? Because I had already been through a lot of stuff, my friends. This isn't my first rodeo. So I decided that if I actually, I had an ER person give me this tip, and then it just from there went forward. If I kept behaving in this way and I kept focusing on that person and drinking and doing all the things where I was just pushing down my feelings and everything, I wasn't actually facing anything, aka doing any shadow work, that I was going to keep making these patterns, and my kids deserved better and I deserved better. So eventually I heeded his words and I made different patterns. I ended up living in tents with my sons. My daughter lived with her dad for a bit, and that was the summer of 2019 when I had stroke level blood pressure and didn't have a stroke. God bless me. Like, thank you, God. So that was enough of a scare, and God knew that, for me to straighten out. And a whole path of amazing adventures and ups and downs happened between then and now. I've also gone to a therapist a few times, so I didn't just do like life coaching stuff or my own research. I actually got professional help, my dear. And I don't know why it says AE lock, but hopefully it doesn't mess my video up. And so from there, I started training as a life coach because I know I want to help people focus on themselves. I know that we cannot change someone else, and narcissistic personality disorder is not easy to diagnose because they're very good at masking, aren't we all, right? Autistic, ADHD people, we're all anyone on any sort of mood spectrum, we're very good at masking, right? So the key to unmasking ourselves and to forgive ourselves and heal ourselves, which is the only thing you have control of right now, is to go to therapy to get the therapeutic needs met that you have there, and then start diving into shadow work. I found shadow work came up in my dreams. So I always set these intentions that I want to work towards being my best version for my highest good. Because if you don't set that intention before going through any sort of life coaching program or any sort of dreamland work, you actually may end up in the wrong path and you won't even know it. So anyone that wants to work with life coaching, I do recommend that you open yourself up to the reality that life coaching is a lot about holding yourself accountable. Your life coach isn't going to point fingers at you. They're there to help you see what you already know and to help you use your strengths today to achieve goals, to change some habits. At least that's my focus as a life coach. And so I really, really pray that while you definitely didn't deserve the treatment you had from someone on narcissistic personality disorder spectrum, you can't change that it happened. And if you continue to stalk them and try to tell their current people they're dating or you just try to spread the word about them, you're only harming yourself in your life, and you're holding yourself back because you're now creating this void and this wall where love should exist. So if you want some guidance and some tips on that, let me know. I'll do my best. I'll try to be gentle because I know when you're still in so much pain, it is not easy to hear some of the healing tips. And some people were pretty harsh on the tips and some people were pretty gentle with me. So I'm hoping that through that experience, I can help that. Now, my life coaching is not a therapy session. So if you have some mental health stuff going on, you might need like an actual therapist or someone who is actually licensed to deal with those. But as a life coach, we do touch on these topics, and through shared experiences, I can help guide you on different paths that maybe would help you open your mind and your heart to a new world where you actually don't feel like you need to keep telling your quote unquote truth about that scenario in your life, because that's where you stay stuck. I want to get you out of retelling that story and tell yourself a new story so that you can live a beautiful life and start attracting the right people that are going to help you live for your highest good in this life. The first step is to knowing that you can't change how someone else behaves, but you can change how you behave. I wish you luck. Peace and love. Mwah.